All right, hi everybody, John Meadows here. I was training at this gym today and I ran into this dude. I told him he has a lot of potential. If you guys think he has a lot of potential, make sure you let him know. Seriously, you're current Mr. Olympia. And tell everybody what's going on here.
Well, first Carbon Culture. Me and my partner Brent, we opened this up with basically guys like us in mind. We want to create an environment where we want to train and get things done. We don't want it to be, too cluttered with nonsense, people that are not really serious, but we want to also create a nice environment that's just not hardcore, but it's clean, sleek. You can go to the bathroom, you can take a shower here, you can relax, feel comfortable here, but still get your hard work in and done. We also want to create an environment where educational atmosphere as well. So we're going to make sure we hire some of the best trainers to educate those who need help, but we're also going to invite guests in to speak and educate the community that want to further their education or want to learn new things in the gym and incorporate them while they're here. So we want to open our doors up for those that are seeking more knowledge, trying to get better physiques, and just want a nice place to train to have them in mind, have this community in mind. This community is growing, but the places that house us, it sometimes limits us. Yeah. And we're maybe refined to different stigmas when we go in certain places, and we want to welcome all the competitors, all the like-minded people here, and let them know this is a place they can come and train, enjoy themselves, work hard, and we're going to try to provide the best environment for that.
And we're in Franklin, Tennessee.
Franklin, Tennessee, exactly.
And you are going to open a second location?
The second location, about 35 minutes, 40 minutes away in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Okay. That's basically where I started bodybuilding, and I live in that area now, so the gym will be about 10 minutes away from me, and I'll basically lay that out complete, identical to what I prefer.
You're going to build it the way you want it.
Yeah, right. Because I'm going to be in there every day. Once I come back from Kuwait, I'm going to be there training until the baby gets here. So I need some environment for me to really, stay in that groove. Yeah. Once I leave that destination spot in Kuwait, I want to, an oxygen gym, I want to come and have some of those same pieces of equipment that I like and the same feels. But, I also want to be around an environment that, caters to me giving and taking as well. So, inspiring people, helping motivate people. People can come to me and, ask me questions and, in that friendly atmosphere where we're all working together, trying to accomplish something together. It's just not about me,
Well, you're trying to establish a brotherhood, right?
Exactly.
And I can appreciate that. The gyms that I see nowadays, some have lost it, right? And so we're always in search of these kinds of gyms. Mm-hmm. So it's awesome for guys like me to see. Now, you mentioned that you're expecting another little one.
Yes.
So I got to ask you, man, how's that work with you being Mr. Olympia and going to Kuwait? How's that work? What are you going to do?
Well, I have an awesome wife, first of all, and that's the number one. She wanted 5, and now we'll have our 5th. God willing, we'll have our 5th in let's say late June, early July. Okay. So basically, it'll be similar to my schedule as last year. I did the Arnold last year, but this year I won't do the Arnold. So I'll go to the Arnold, I'll attend there. I'll get all fired up. I'll leave, go to Kuwait for about 6 to 8 weeks. Okay. And, we're just going to get that off season going and really just make that impression. I'll come back for my revealing, of course, and go see Jim. And, my obligations in Jim in Pittsburgh, I'll go see him and make sure I get the fans excited about the season. Yep. And then, we'll be in the U.S. and I'll be training. Hopefully the gym will be open. And, until waiting on the baby to come, I'll just be on my grind, trying to stay in my same pattern.
How many boys do you have?
I have 3 boys.
How many girls do you have?
Just 1. So,
how's that work?
So, we're waiting. My wife wants to wait to see what the gender will be, so it'll be a surprise for everyone. Yeah. But, I don't know. I don't know if I could have another girl. We'll see. My wife thinks this one is a girl only because of me, not because of her. She says, I'm changing. So,
you make different kinds of babies, so now you're making girls.
Yeah, okay. She says I'm affected by whatever is going on in her. So she says I'm being different. Okay. And she's never seen me like this before, so she's thinking it's a girl.
Okay. Well, so when I was in my 20s, many years ago, we were always told a couple things as a bodybuilder. You can't have a full-time job and be successful when you can't really have a big family. Mm-hmm. And see, family. So one of the things that I like to talk about, like when I'm at seminars, is I talk about focusing on your family. Because I think a lot of bodybuilders have this thing in their head that it's me time. I'm going to alienate everybody. I'm going to get my little corner. And I do think there is some of that where you've got to have a little bit of selfishness, but not at the expense of your loved ones.
Right.
And so for me, seeing the pinnacle of the sport, which is you, also balancing out with the family is freaking awesome. And I think I wanted to talk about that because I just want people to see that.
Well, you know, it's one of those perfect storms in a sense. You know, my wife, you know, she's been a part of the industry. She understands. She sees me trying to balance the two when I'm really deep in the prep and trying to really get better. And she knows when I make those bad decisions that maybe cater to my family more than it caters to my bodybuilding.
Yeah.
And you know, that's just me. You know, I don't apologize for that. So she understands that idea, that concept of separating myself, just so I can make sure I'm totally focused on the job and the mission ahead of me, and I'm not trying to balance too much. So it gives me the opportunity to get away. But when you're away, and you don't necessarily want to be away, and you wait for a reason, it creates this, like, you know, it's kind of like starving in a sense.
Yeah.
You know, and you're like, man, I'm here and I'm starving for something I want. I can't get it until I finish this job, right?
Yeah.
So I don't want to have this time here wasted.
Right.
So I'm going to make the most out of it. The last thing I want to do is come away from this, waste this time away, and not get anything out of it. You know.
Yeah.
You know. So that's what's on my mind. That creates that hunger. That creates that desire, because I'm depriving myself of something that I really, really want.
That's right.
You know, temporarily. So I need to really, really make sure that I'm not taking this opportunity for granted, because it's my, you know, it's my legacy, it's my family that's having to take a back seat for a minute in order for me to do this, and I want them to be rewarded by this time away. I don't want them to be, you know, I don't want it to come back on me like Daddy was away. And you know, he didn't care about us, and you know, I want them to understand that this is what I'm doing because of you, and you guys give me this drive to do this. And without this scenario here, I wouldn't be this bodybuilder that I am. So, fortunately for me, my kids and everything, they everything I can kind of see, you know, this aspect feeding into them. Whether it's my daughter and her soccer, and her making a decision to go away and train and do things for the betterment of her, or whether it's, you know, just seeing, you know, my sons come around the sport and then kind of find their identity through hard work.
Yeah.
And then being able to speak to other kids in the community and youth about the benefits of hard work, the benefits of some sacrifice in order to get to the places that you want to go. And, you know, every time I'm speaking to normal young kids, my kids are around, so they're kind of, you know, hearing these messages and getting receptive, and it's allowed me to be, you know, it's allowed me to be have more reach than I would normally have, you know, just by being at home alone, you know. So it's given me an opportunity to really, you know, instill the value of, you know, okay, it's a certain thing called balance. Of course, we know that, but we know life is not about no balance in life.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of give and take.
That's right.
It's a little bit, but whatever you give, if you're gonna in a position to give, you need to give your all at it while you can,
right?
Because you can't get that back. So if you're gonna make that sacrifice, you're gonna have to put in that work that you need to get in, and you're gonna have to put your nose to the ground, because you're not gonna get that time back. You're not gonna get that opportunity back. So if you're gonna pursue these dreams, you're gonna pursue these passions, you got to let it loose, no fear, and go for it. And you know, when you can bring success out of it, that's motivation for the next person that is on the edge to making that decision. Mm-hmm. They may not want to jump because they're scared, but they seen you jump and they say, okay, he's jumped, but you have to jump with that mindset that I'm jumping and I'm all in.
No fear.
I'm all in. This is it's make or break.
Yeah.
And that's what people got to understand. We all reach that point in life and decisions that we make. You know, some of them may not be as big as maybe the decision I made, but at some point, whether it's been business, whether it's further your education, you're making those decisions, those big decisions in life that can change the rest of your life. Yeah. And you can't take it lightly, and you got to have that faith that, you know, you have what it takes to endure, to succeed, so you can put in that work and that effort, and hopefully see your dreams and everything fulfilled. So, you know, I'm just blessed that being able to be successful. I'm blessed to actually go through the struggle because a lot. I've read the other day that I had the longest road to the Mr. Olympia,
Okay.
and I don't mind being known to that. You know, that's.
You're talking to a guy that did 14 pro qualifiers before he won.
I mean, I don't mind. I mean, that's like it's an honor that that I've been able to maintain that mindset to I won't give up, and I've been able to go after it for so long.
Yeah.
I mean, it's surprising to me, but I'm glad I can represent that.
Yeah.
And other people can see that in me when I've been wrote off plenty of times, and they still write me off, but. These are the things that drive me,
Yeah.
These are the things I can pull from to kind of get that motivation and fire that I need. So, I'm just in a blessed opportunity and having, things like this happen for me and juggling all these things. It seems like a lot going on. It seems like a lot of times. But what is life without it, what is life really without all this stuff going on,
Yeah.
Stretching yourself a little bit. We can always find time to rest.
That's right.
And I've had some good rest.
Yeah.
I've been at home. Family.
Yeah.
I managed to have a baby when I'm back, So I've been doing my R&R. I've been trying to just reconnect with everything that's been going on at home, and it's been wonderful just to sit still.
Yeah.
And kind of just see how your kids are changing right before your eyes, and the things that they're learning, the maturity, and the things they pick up from you. I mean, my youngest son, who's not the athlete. Mm-hmm. All he wants to do now is lift weights.
Okay.
Just all of a sudden, he's the one that wants to lift weights now. He asked me to buy him a pull-up bar so he can.
How old is he now?
He's 6.
Okay.
So he asked me just to buy him a pull-up bar so he can,
Okay.
Get better at pull-ups. His brothers are good at pull-ups. He wanted to get better in practice. So
Okay.
what can I do? Of course, I'm
Gotta
going
get
to
him a
buy
pull-up
him a pull-up bar.
Yeah.
So he asked me today. He's like, "Can I come to the gym and work out?" I'm like, well, I'm not gonna be able to work out with you today, but we can get you in here one day and we can do a little training because he always wants to train. But what I'm gonna end up doing is probably buying him his complete little dumbbell set at home, so him and his brother can really get into it. Because I catch them working out together randomly. I'm like,
workout,
brother. Yeah.
Let me sneak a workout in. Dad's upstairs.
Yeah, so that's the thing that I love. That's the thing, that's the things that keep me, knowing that I'm moving in the right direction. The influence, the confidence that I see my sons having, and being able to see them excel at the things that they're good at.
Yeah.
And me being able to say, okay, it's okay.
How old is your oldest?
My oldest is 15.
Okay.
And she's just went out of town. She just said, Dad, I'm sorry I didn't get to say bye, but she's always on the move with soccer.
Okay.
Very high level soccer player for her age, and then my 10-year-old, very high level of football, and he's doing very, very good. And then my middle son, he can do anything. I named him Marvelous, and he's I don't know where life is going to lead him, but I'm sitting here waiting to find out.
Yeah, but you'll support him no matter what.
Oh, no matter what,
That's
and that's what I'm here for. And they don't understand what a normal life is. They've never seen that from me, 9 to 5, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't expect them to be normal kids at all. I expect them to, really reach out there and go for what they feel like they want. Their purpose to do in life.
That's right.
And that's what I care about. I don't, you can be like that if you want. That's fine. But whatever you find purpose in, that's where I'm going to support you at.
That's right.
Because that's all that matters to me, is that you feel like, oh, this is what I've been on earth to do. And I'm a testament to that.
Yeah.
Once I found out bodybuilding, I feel like bodybuilding was something I was supposed to do in life.
Yeah.
And this was a part of me. Then I went at it with all I have. Failed several times, but I didn't give up.
Yeah.
I didn't give up because I felt like this was where I was supposed to be.
Yeah.
And now I'm in this position. I said I wasn't wrong. And I'm glad that I can continue to preach this message. So when you came back from the Olympia last year, I seen you in some videos where you had your trophy, and you were maybe at a kid's football practice, maybe. Yeah. And I was like, that is so awesome. First thing you're doing is you're impacting others, and it's so cool to see somebody, because again, it's a very selfish sport. But the first thing you were thinking about is inspiring other people. So I had a question. My kids are 11, they're in football, they're in basketball, they're in soccer. And I know that you love to see your kids do great. And people often ask me, what did you like better? Placing high in a bodybuilding show, did you get more satisfaction out of that? Or seeing your kids do well at an event? So I'm gonna ask you that. What gives you more joy? Placing high in a bodybuilding show that you've worked so hard for, that you've sacrificed so much for, or seeing maybe your daughter or one of them do well in a tournament? No. I mean, winning bodybuilding shows, it's great. It's a great feeling. It's an awesome feeling. But you don't feel right. You know, as a father, you don't feel right if you're only doing good. You know, so when my kids do anything and excel in anything, you know, that is something I can't fulfill myself. You know what I'm saying? I cannot do that myself. You know, I can win a bodybuilding show. I put the work in myself. Yeah. But to see my kids excel, you know, despite me, you know, in their own elements, and seeing them, you know, push and learn, you know, to win, to lose, and seeing them conquer the things that they didn't think they would be able to do. I mean, that gets me going. You know, that's motivation. You know, because they have a whole life ahead of them, and I'm here to set them up to where hopefully I'm around to lead and guide them. You know, to be their best. But I'm here watching, seeing the fruits of my labor, and and you know, just trying to correct them any way I can. But you know, that is. I mean, it's nothing like being a father.
It's an amazing feeling.
It's nothing like being a father, right?
It's an amazing feeling.
Because we go from being so selfish and focused on ourselves, and then these little seeds are placed in our lives and they're growing, and you're just like, there's no way I can just ignore these. No. You know, there's no way I can just write these. I don't understand how guys do it. And then it's a situation there because it's like, man, aren't you curious?
Yeah.
About what these young men and women are going to become, you know?
That's right.
And,
that's right.
And you don't have a hand in that. You don't feel that responsibility. So for me, seeing my kids do great, I think provides a whole lot more excitement. I'm one of those guys. I'm kind of hard to impact emotionally, anyway. So I can win a show, and you know, it's going to feel good. Yeah. But I'm still processing so much that it's not an instant thing. Yeah. When I see my kid score a touchdown or something like that, or make a big play. That's instant. I don't have to process that.
That's right.
I'm reacting.
That's overwhelming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's just a different dynamic. So, but I know you understand. So
it's amazing. I remember running up and down the sideline, you know, and people were probably like, "What is wrong with that guy, man?" But it's an amazing feeling. And you know, I wanted to ask you a couple bodybuilding questions too. What point, at some point in your life, you said, "I can be the best"? Was there one point where you had an epiphany, or was it just a process and doing your best and hoping the result would be there? So was it just, I'm going to do my best and see what happens? Or was there a time when you said, I think I can win this thing. I think I can be the best in the world?
Well, it was a thing that had nothing to do with me. It was outside of me. I was at a point in my life to where I was looking for a purpose. I was, you know, what am I supposed to do? You know, I was growing up, you know, college is gonna be done, looking for direction. You know, I just happened to be in this sport, bodybuilding, as a hobby. And I got invited with my manager to the Olympia to attend. And on the plane, I kind of had a feeling that I was gonna see my now wife there, and that happened. And then I had the opportunity to actually go to the show. I didn't think it was gonna happen. You know, some of the models, I was a model at the time, some of the models I was with, they got to go to the show because they competed in the competition. I didn't compete.
Okay.
We talked to Flex Wheeler. He said he was going to put my name on the list.
Okay.
Whether he did or not, it's irrelevant at this point. We get to the Orleans Arena. We're standing in that line to get in, and they're checking names on the list. And this was when they had the VIP box at the top.
Sure, yeah.
So I'm waiting in line, and they're looking at us, and they're trying to get us, and they're like, "Oh, you guys all look the part. Go on up.
Come on in, yeah."
So we take the elevator up, we go up, and I'm like, wow, this is nuts.
Yeah.
So I'm having some drinks, doing some food, seeing all my celebrities I only see in magazines, and and all of a sudden everything erupts, and I see, oh, Ronnie Coleman, he's about to do his posing routine. Oh yeah, this is great.
Yeah.
So I go in, I'm looking, and comes out with the 10 Commandments, you know.
Oh yeah, Moses. The Moses beard.
And I'm like, oh man, this is great. I'm here to see Ronnie break the record.
Yeah.
I'm here to see him break the record. So, you know.
And this was your first Mr. Olympia?
It's my first Mr. Olympia. Okay. So I'm looking, and I'm there. It's 06. I'm here to see Ronnie break the record. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So they calling the placings. When they call first runner up, you know, I was paying attention, but it was like, you know, I knew the whole room erupted. You know, I knew it went crazy. And they called Ronnie. And for some reason, even though I knew everything went crazy, everything went silent for me.
Yeah.
And I got tunnel vision. And it was just like, I'm gonna be on that stage. This is what I'm supposed to do. I felt it right there. This is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to be on that stage. So at that point, it was like, okay, in my mind, I'm processing. So this is not a hobby anymore for me. This is, I'm supposed to treat this like a job.
Yeah.
And then, I'd been bodybuilding, but just not seriously. And then at that point, it was like, the next step for me was actually a pro qualifier at that point. I had done junior USAs, and I was going to do a pro qualifier. I was going to do USAs, and that was in 07. And at that point, I was training, I was pushing, and I was trying to figure out what weight class my body was going to be in. I went up a whole other weight class, the heavyweight class, and I went in there, and even though I didn't win, I placed second out of nowhere. Everybody knew who I was, and magazines, everybody's contacting me, and it was just that became real. So instantly, once that hit me, I was now being paid a little bit of money to be a bodybuilder, and it was becoming a job when it wasn't before. So that little scenario, see Jay Cutler conquer him and Ronnie not break the record is really, really what led me into the direction that I went. That was my confirmation that this is it. This is it. I didn't know how long it was going to take me.
Yeah.
I was very nuanced to the sport. I didn't know a lot. I went through a lot of ups and downs, but what that did was it's kind of set the path before me. So at this point in my career, I've been dissed. I know who's for me. I know who's against me. I know things that people don't even know I know. And I have to interact with these guys, and it's like, but I know everything. So I have vision that I wouldn't have had when I started. That benefits me today. That I'm in this position. But me being naive, then if I had it too early, I wouldn't know what to do with it. So I was prepared for this moment, and it's just that was it. It was just all from just seeing what I thought would happen. Not happen and realize anything is possible.
Yeah.
The King, he didn't break the record, and I was there to see it.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I wasn't even supposed to be there, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And that just changed the game for me. Wow. And and that's why I never could give up. People was like, man, you went through. People were talking about I was retiring at one point. I was reading articles. I was like, retiring? Who said that?
Where'd that come out?
Yeah, but that's why I couldn't really give up, no matter how hard things got, no matter how how many times I failed, no matter I just couldn't give up, because that moment there was solidified in my mind, and it was just so real to me that this was where I was supposed to be. So I just had to give it all, and just grind it out, and just wait for the doors to open.
Yeah.
Boy, did they open.
I was at the Arnold Classic one year, and I used to have a kind of a job. Well, I would get free passes to everything if I would take the winners. So Sunday they have a seminar for the winners, right? They they used to go to Veterans Memorial. I don't know where they go now, but they give a little speech. I used to have to take them from their hotel to that, give their speech, and take them back. So I was like a little chauffeur.
Right.
So I'm pretty sure that was the year I took Jay Cutler. I took him back to the hotel where he was at, and I still tell him to this day, I was that guy driving you? Yeah. Like, I was backstage. But I remember seeing you with Arnold one year where you got 7th place, and I had an epiphany about you. I was watching you, and you did your front lat spread and your call out, and like all my friends were around me, and I said, that guy right there, that guy's going to win this show someday. And they're like, yeah, I could see that, but I always had that in my mind. Like, when I saw that, there was something about you that day. I was like, that guy's going to win this someday. Now, I was talking about the Arnold. You turned around, you won the Olympia. So you went up me on that.
So I won Arnold too, so it's crazy.
It was an amazing, the Olympia last year was amazing for a lot of us fans because of the person you are. And from someone who's been in the sport for a long time, we like to see awesome bodybuilders, but we like to see people that are awesome people. And so there were a lot of us that were just, it's nothing against anybody else. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, to see you win, to see what kind of person you are, to see what kind of a family guy you are, you had everybody behind you, and it was awesome. So, you've won one now. So now how are you feeling about this year?
It's
because people were talking trash.
Oh yeah, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm glad that people were talking trash. For me, it's been a part of my career so long now. I wouldn't be able to identify without it. So if everybody's rooting for me, then I definitely have a problem psychologically. So because I'm pulling from these things, from these challenges, and honestly, I know I'm not there yet. And to be at the top of the sport and feel you're not there yet is for me, it's like, it makes me dangerous. You know what I mean? Because I'm still hungry to get better. I'm still hungry to improve. I don't think I've arrived yet, just because I'm here, and I don't take this opportunity for granted, because I want to be there to make an impression. And nothing's better than making somebody that's not your fan a fan.
Yeah.
You know, and just give me the opportunity. Just give me the opportunity to give my effort and convince those. Some of them can't be convinced, you know, and I understand that.
Yeah.
But if I can turn some of those guys and convince them, I know I've had before in my life. I've got friends of mine, personal friends of mine, that were close to me. And when they met me, they didn't like me. Of course, they didn't know me, but they didn't like me.
Yeah.
But they were to say, Brandon, when I met you, I did not like you. But I didn't know what kind of guy you were at the time. I was looking from the outside in.
Right,
so I'm expecting to have this impression on some of those bodybuilding community that maybe oppose me in whatever way. But it's like, I have nothing without competition and fire.
Yeah.
A lot of people talking about this guy coming back, this guy coming back, this guy. How do you feel about that? I'm like, we're talking about competition here. You're talking about legends. You're talking about people I admire, look up to.
Yeah.
The opportunity to compete against them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, why would that not get me excited?
Yeah.
Why would, you know, I don't have time to be intimidated. All I have time to think about is getting better, improving. If this guy's gonna be in the show, that's gonna set my flame a little bit higher.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go into that dark place and make sure I can get this done.
Yeah.
You know, because this is an opportunity that I don't want to miss. You know,
Yeah.
Standing on stage with Phil Heath, I want to miss that opportunity if he comes back. No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, this is legacy we're talking about here. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, things like that get me excited. Those kind of narratives get me excited. So, I mean, I don't know if you're doing it on purpose, but I appreciate it. You know.
Well, I mean, I think you get competition like that, you can either overwhelm you or it can take your game to another level. Mm-hmm. And I feel like this is going to, I feel like you have room to improve too. Mm-hmm. And I think you're right. That makes you a dangerous person. Mm-hmm. There's no way your body's peaked. There's just no way. Mm-hmm. There's just no way. So I'm excited to see you even better against these guys. So it's exciting, man. It's really exciting. I've taken enough of your time. I'm sure I speak for our YouTube audience, thanking you for your time. Thank you very much. You're an awesome champion. More than that, you're an awesome dad, which I can really appreciate. But we're all behind you. We know you're going to get even better. You're the best in the world right now, but we know you can get even better. So thank you very much, Brandon, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you, sir.
All right.